Bonjour et bienvenue. Je m'appelle Adrianna. I'm sure you're wondering why I'm at the Eiffel Tower. Simple answer, because I can be wherever I want to be. So welcome back to Youth Group, Eiffel Tower edition. So I want to jump back into the series that we're doing with you guys, Jesus, the man, the myth, the actual. And so I want to talk to you guys about the humanity of Jesus. It's really easy to speak of the God qualities of Jesus, but sometimes we struggle to wrap our minds around the humanity of him. So Jesus wasn't some sort of fake hologram projection of God who appeared only when we need him to say something to us or show us something. And he wasn't a new and improved version of man either, some superhuman invention. So what exactly was he? Jesus was fully man and he was fully God at the same time. He took on flesh just like ours and he suffered in all the same ways that we do. He wasn't immune to all the human things. Can you imagine an all-powerful God who came down for us and entered the human arena? To be so powerful and to be human at the same time. In Luke 22, Jesus is in the Garden of Gethsemane, and we can see how completely overcome by emotions he is. So verse 41 says, he withdrew about a stone's throw beyond his disciples that were with him, and he knelt down and prayed. And he said, Father, if you are willing, take this cup from me. Yet not my will, but yours be done. And this is such a great look at who Jesus was as a person because he is God. He knows everything that's about to happen. He knows that while he's gonna die, he's still gonna come back just a short time later. He won't even miss much. He'll be gone for such a short time, but he's still so anxious and nervous and afraid and worried, and he trembles at death when it's at the door, just like any other human would. And I like talking about the story of Jesus in the garden because whatever you feel, he truly gets it. Jesus could relate to us because he became fully human like us for us. And when he's sitting here in the garden, he's experiencing a lot of the humanness. I remember growing up and around middle school and high school time is around when I first started to be aware of my super intense fear of failure. And I remember thinking, I was probably super dramatic, oh, nobody's been where I'm at right now. Nobody's experienced this. I'm all alone. And yes, my mom told me I was dramatic.
Why are you so dramatic?
I remember thinking nobody had ever felt what I'm feeling. I was so alone. And we see here that Jesus was very clearly wrestling with all of those exact thoughts and feelings of fear. So think about it. He's supposed to be this perfect savior of the whole world, and that's kind of a lot of pressure for one person. I know I wouldn't want that kind of pressure for myself. And so he doesn't want to have to physically experience this awful death, but he also has to succeed in this so that he can save us. But on the other hand, he wants to know if there's another way, and at the same time, he knows that this is what has to be done. The truth is, Jesus has been through everything that I will ever go through. And that's not just something that we say to comfort ourselves because it sounds nice. He really did have a physical body here on earth, and he could get splinters and blisters, and he bled real, actual blood. And all of those feelings of loneliness and wanting to fit in and being betrayed by friends, he's been there too. Have you ever felt like you don't fit in? I definitely have. And so has Jesus. He was going around just doing his job, and everywhere he went, people made sure that he knew he wasn't accepted. He had strangers constantly telling him, you're not what we expected, you're not what we pictured, you're not the same as us. And what's more is Jesus was even hurt by the people closest to him. And I know that's a really bad kind of pain. He knows every emotion that comes with the feeling of being betrayed by somebody close to him. Have you ever heard the words sympathy and empathy? The difference is that sympathy is like saying, oh, I feel bad for you. That must be really hard. And on the other hand, empathy is, I've been there. I know what that is like. I know that that's hard because I've been there before. Whatever you may be going through, especially as a junior higher or as a high schooler, I may have a lot of sympathy for you, and Greg and David might have sympathy for you, but Jesus has empathy for you. He's been all those places that you've been, all the places that you will be. He's already cried all of your same tears, and he's already wrestled with all of your same anger and confusion. Jesus is way more relatable than you may have ever realized because he's a God that's been exactly where you are in this human life, in this physical world. All right, so cool. Jesus has been where I've been. What do I do with that now? What does that mean for me and for my life? I think it's so cool that we serve a God who's God, but also has lived a human life. Because, yeah, Jesus gets it. He feels that empathy for us. He's already been there, done that. But at the same time, he is God, and he does have a plan for our life, and he is using all of our things in our life for our benefit. So I shared with you guys a little glimpse of dramatic high school Adrianna, but just to kind of show you guys where that's led in my own life. After not having God in my life for a long time and just dealing with all of that sadness and hurt and loneliness and anger and confusion on my own, and then seeing what life is like when you can trust God with all of those feelings, you can go to God with all of those feelings and emotions. And so because Jesus has been there before, at the same time, he is God, and he's a God that knows and feels all of my feelings and emotions, but also has a great plan for me and is making a way for that to happen. And I've already seen so much of that plan just being laid out before me, just with going from a broken family and childhood to now having such a great church family and having all of you guys that are my family. Just seeing how Jesus knows what that pain is like, and he's already making a better way for me because I've trusted him with all of those emotions and feelings. So if any of you guys are ever feeling sad or stressed or angry or upset or confused or any of these human emotions that we all feel, all of us leaders are always here for you, and more importantly, a God who has been there already is there for you and is ready to already help you through that. Au revoir. Guys, I love Avatar.
God's an avatar.